Hello, and welcome ladies and gentlemen of YouTube to another Soldier 76 Helix Jump tutorial. Today we're focused on Illios and discovering all the different places where we can use the Helix Jump technique to give Soldier 76 that edge when it comes to evasiveness and mobility. You can use these techniques for pre-game setup strategies, in between objectives, although not necessarily on this map as it's a KOTH or King of the Hill map, or just to get out of sticky situations fast. If you want to see more Overwatch content, let me know in the comment section below the video. If you liked the video after you finish watching it, drop the video a like. If you hate it, tell me why and hit that dislike button. As always, don't forget to subscribe. As I normally do, let's pause here and briefly explain the 4 basic steps of the jump. Aim down, helix rocket, jump, and optionally sprint at the end. Aiming down allows us to prepare for the splash damage from the helix rocket. The splash damage will propel Soldier into the air, and combined with jump and sprint will make Soldier go further in a particular direction. Something I don't note here often is that your ping in-game is really indicative of if this jump can be performed reliably. I recommend trying it on sub 50 millisecond games only. On Illios, there are 3 maps to cover and all of them are known as mirror maps. This means that both sides of the maps where each of the teams spawns is exactly the same as the other. We're starting here on Lighthouse, and one thing I'd like to say is that there isn't too many jumps on this map that are worthwhile. It's possible to jump around on the rooftops, but a lot of the time you'll be fighting on the point, making the rooftop jumps pretty useless. You might be able to find quick paths back to the spawn like this one I'm showing here, but at the cost of being pretty dangerous to execute. Some, like this one, can offer some advantage by hopping up to the point near the end of a round to trigger overtime, or simply just to contest the point. Moving on to Ruins, there are again a small number of jumps that are worthwhile. Many of the jumps are too close to the spawn area, but I'll go over a few anyway. Most elevated areas are reachable in Illios, but near the point there aren't many elevated areas in general. Something to note is that some bricks are not real platforms that you can stand on and will forcefully slide you off for some reason. They're spread around the map, so make sure you remember which bricks are bad. This next platform is a common area for snipers to be, and luckily Soldier can get up here fairly easily. More interestingly is that Soldier can get above the ruin structure in the middle area. Not the most useful jump, but if you find yourself pushed back by the enemy team, this is one way you can potentially get high ground. Additionally, because this is a mirror map, a sniper could be up here on the opposite side, making her an easy target. A couple useful platforms on Ruins are the 2 just beside the point. Watch as I do a sprint jump on one of the bricks first just before Helix jumping up to the platform. This is a good spot as Soldier can see a decent amount of the battlefield, and can also jump to other nearby platforms. There are a number of platforms to stay elevated just outside the point area on either side as I'm showing here, and can easily be navigated.
Thanks.
I'm going to deviate from Helix jumping a little bit, and show you that it's possible to get up on top of some of the ruin structures without using Helix rocket at all. With a series of jump sprints, and specific brick piles, Soldier can establish a decent high ground position just outside the point. On Ruins, I only really found one useful jump on the point, and it's used to get from the ground to the bridge walkway on the side. The walkway and paths on either side are low enough that you can jump up from the ground at any position. At the 3rd and final map of Illios, well, there are a number of decent jumps. This is because the map is full of housing structures that are low enough to the ground to be jumped to from the ground. It's easy enough to find these jumps, and some of them may require helix jump sprint combinations to reach. Outside the point, you can pretty much jump around on rooftops all day. As we get close to the point, it gets more difficult, and it's often better to use jumps like this to make it to the windmill structure building to get high ground. It's also easier to kill heroes here like a Widowmaker, a Pharah, or a Hanzo. It's also worth noting that in some situations, if you find a fence still intact, you can use it like you can an urn, a brick, or other objects as a stepping stone to reach higher platforms. At the point, this is a jump that can be useful if you want to make a quick getaway from an enemy hero. It's a little difficult as it's nearing the max jump height that we can achieve with a helix rocket and sprint. This path can also be used to reach the blue overhang area. A small note here is that you can be shot through the holes in the wooden flooring underneath you. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Again, remember to like or dislike the videos, it helps me out a lot, and subscribe if you want to see more. Also catch me live on Twitch TV/Nexiom. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.